Hey gang, Spade of the Baltmatrix here, and today we are taking a look at TFC Toys Structor. This is the third in the Hercules set releases, and Structor is, or Structor is what I like to call, not Scrapper. Overall, the figure looks very good in front loader mode. I really like the way this figure looks. It does come with 4 accessories. As you can see, they are already attached. 2 wings and 2 guns. In typical Hercules fashion, there is this transparent transparent red gun. I like the fact that there are 2 guns. I kind of wish they weren't transparent, but hey, you know what? We're halfway to Hercules, so I could deal. So we're going to go ahead and remove the gun so you guys can see the figure on its own without the accessories. And then we're going to go ahead and put him next to Heavy Labor. So to give you guys just a quick size comparison, I think Structor looks really good. As far as vehicle modes, from the 3 that have been released, he is by far my favorite. Scrapper was also my favorite back in the day, but that's just me. Now, one thing I do like is the bucket here in the front is fully articulated and can bend just about all the way down. And it does have a nice hydraulic action here. And it can go up high enough to actually dump into Heavy Labor's. So the transformation for Structor is actually pretty simple. First off, I did make a mistake. This should not be deployed pointing up. This connector point should actually be facing straight down in vehicle mode. So, as I said, transformation is actually pretty easy. Before we get into it, I like to remove this for right now. This is the cab, like X-Graver, and I'm assuming all the others coming, you can remove the cab. So I'm just going to put that off to the side. First thing we're going to do is come onto the back here, and these tabs actually unpeg the back. And then you take this whole back, unpeg it, and flip it straight up and back like that. That will allow you to unpeg these bits here and fold them forward. And then take the entire rear section and fold it out and down to form the legs. And then once you have that down, fold out the heels. Now, this is very difficult because the pins are exceptionally tight. I'm not complaining, it's just really tight. So there we have the legs. Next we'll form the upper section. We'll move the scoop back. Take this whole section here and spin it and click it around. First time I was doing this, I thought I was going to break the dang thing. And spin them around until we've got the pegs, these pegs, which I have no idea what they're for, pointing straight up. Then we can come back here and fold out the hands. And that is a little harder said than done because there's nothing to really grab onto to fold it out. Take the head and pull it up. And last but not least, fold this back part up like that. And then just leave the scoop back like that, or you can pull it up a little bit like that. And here we have Structor in robot mode. Now, before we get into the actual robot mode review, I do want to mention something very quickly that actually threw me for a loop. The head initially comes all the way up and clicks into place. I don't know how well you could see that, but you see he's kind of looking down. Well, it requires a lot of force to get back in there. And I'm afraid that that is actually a design flaw. So I don't pull his head all the way up, I just kind of pull it most of the way up. Oh, and before I forget, the the cab actually pegs back in here, and when you're transforming it, that little bit pegs right up into the cab. So the weapons are actually really interesting. So we'll go ahead and unpeg the wings from the guns. And the wings actually peg into the sides here and are meant to be stored in robot mode. If you look at the picture of him on the box, he actually has the wings pegged into his legs, which is really, really cool. And they're just folded up. Now, you don't have to do this, but I actually like to do it because that way you've got them right there. You're not going to lose them. And then, of course, the guns can be held. The robot mode for Structor is incredibly posable. Head is on a swivel joint. Sorry, no ball joint here. Arms have the ability to ratchet up and down, like because of the transformation. And then there is a swivel joint here in the shoulder, another swivel joint at the upper arm, a 90-degree bend, and a 90-degree bend joint. Legs, ratchet joint in the thigh, hip, swivel joint in the thigh, and then there is a ratcheting joint for a knee and no feet joints. But he is a little bit top-heavy thanks to the bucket and the back here. But thankfully, these heels really help the figure, so you can pull off some good poses. However, just because of the blockiness of the figure, you are a little bit limited. Now, I absolutely love this figure, and the reason is because he's got so many possibilities. You have holes here on the side of the arms that you can use for putting the cannons in, and then you've got wings. You could attach the wings to his arms. He just is so much fun. And yeah, he's got quite a bit of a backpack going there, and he's kind of got a butt pack too, but it doesn't bother me. This figure is just so much fun to own and have. Along with the weapons, you can actually do some really neat things with them because they are so changeable and combinable. What I have seen done, and what I think is very, very cool, is take both of the guns and put them both in one hand, like that. And then take the wings and put them each on one of the guns. And there you have a makeshift Cybertron bow and arrow, which is a very, very cool concept. So you could actually pose him such that it looks like he's drawing back to fire a giant Cybertronian bow and arrow. Very, very cool. As you can see, I have returned Structor to vehicle mode. Now, transformation into limb mode is pretty simple. First, we will deploy the connector bit, move the shovel all the way up, and then take these bits such that the peg, this peg right here, is pointing straight down. And then take the arm, point it back, and fold it up like that. So do the same thing over here. Fold it up like that. And there we go. And something that's very cool is the body can move either right or left. So you can also pose them like that in vehicle mode. Here we have long haul ready to combine, and the combine part just plugs right into the leg. And there we go. He is combined. And I gotta say, that's a really strong joint down here, because that's having no problem standing up on its own. Now, I will be getting Dr. Crank here, hopefully very shortly, probably coming up this week. I have purchased both Structor and Dr. Crank from TF I strongly recommend picking stuff up from those guys. They are a great company to deal with. I recently had a ton of problems with shipping with Structor. If you follow me on Twitter, you know the whole story. But TF was great to deal with those problems. So I highly recommend that company. So for Structor, you know what? Out of the three, he's my favorite. He's definitely the best one of the bunch so far. This is Spada, and I'll see you next time.